On these sweeping plains, one of the planet's most fearsome predators was born, destined to take his place atop the food chain. And one day, the whole world would know his name, Walter Palmer.
Going back in time. This is me, this is Walt.
Chad Wagner played basketball with Walter Palmer back when they were both boys at Lisbon High School in North Dakota.
It's Walt on a jump shot.
Palmer, the sharp-shooting forward, Wagner, the team captain and lifelong friend.
The type of guy that would give you the shirt off his back when in need. He would be the type of guy to help anybody.
Lisbon is a farming community of about 2,000 people. Walter grew up with a brother and sister in this attractive ranch-style home, just walking distance from the main street in town.
His family were very well liked. His dad was a doctor. Obviously, being a doctor in town, you're one of the most important, prominent people in town. This is typical North Dakota. Now we're heading out into more dryland territory where you'd see more wildlife.
Chad showed us the fields where, as youngsters, he and Walter would hunt pheasant, geese, and white-tailed deer.
About as quiet and desolate as you come. Had a lot of good times up here.
Back at school, Chad says Walter stood out, an honor student and class leader. Folks here weren't surprised he followed his dad into medicine, eventually going to the University of Minnesota School of Dentistry.
We invite you to come to River Bluff Dental.
Dr. Palmer would go on to open River Bluff Dental in suburban Minneapolis, this video publicizing their expertise.
There's many different procedures we can do. We have restorations that we can do.
He became an award-winning dentist, his polished reputation filling a golden bank account, a Tony home in town, and several others around Minnesota and as far away as Florida. That financial success allowed Dr. Palmer to take his childhood interest in hunting to a whole new level, bow hunting for big game.
Super Slammers are the elite, the best of the best.
He became good enough and had enough money to travel far enough to accomplish something only 24 bow hunters ever have, the so-called Super Slam of North America, taking all 29 huntable species listed by the Grand Slam Club. This 2009 New York Times profile describes him as capable of skewering a playing card from 100 yards and refusing to carry firearms as a backup on bow hunts. And this is called a compound.
Yes, this is a compound bow.
Big game hunter Rebecca Francis understands the thrill.
When you're out there, right when you take the shot, I mean, it's pure adrenaline. There's nothing like it.
Oh my gosh, look at him! Look at him!
She lives in Wyoming, but like Palmer, has taken her shots around the globe. When it comes to hunting and the shots and the celebration, do you think people just don't get it? They don't get what your world is all about?
I think that people are raised in different cultures. And people that were raised in an area like this, it's part of their life. People that have lived in cities, they don't understand it.
What the heck are we looking at here?
So we've got buffalo burgers, we've got buffalo roast, we've got buffalo steaks, we've got cougar meat right here.
You can eat cougar.
Absolutely, and it's good.
Francis says some hunters are all about feeding their families, but pretty much all of them have a boundless love of the outdoors and support conservation.
We need to help people understand what hunters do for conservation, what we do for the future of wildlife.
Dr. Palmer was as passionate a hunter as they come, but along the way he seems to have lost sight of some of the rules. In 2006, he was hunting black bear in northern Wisconsin. He had a permit to kill a bear in one county. Trouble is, Palmer actually shot a bear in another county 40 miles away. These never-before-seen photos obtained by ABC News show the aftermath of that expedition.
As soon as the bear was killed, Palmer and the 3 or so guys he was with, guides, they agreed they would lie about it.
U.S. Attorney John Beaudry got involved when Palmer took that illegal bear across state lines back to Minnesota.
He was lying to us. He was offering to pay, it turns out, about $20,000 to keep the others who were in the hunt, to have them lie. So that's a fairly aggressive cover-up.
But his friends didn't take the bait. The bear guides sang like canaries. Palmer eventually pled guilty to felony charges, paid nearly $3,000 in fines, and was sentenced to a year of probation.
He said he was remorseful. He said he was very sorry for what he'd done in this lie. And one would hope that'd be the end of it.
But it was not the end of his troubles. Back in the dental office, Palmer had been slapped with a sexual harassment suit. He settled out of court for a hefty sum without admitting wrongdoing. Yet the State Board of Dentistry ordered Dr. Palmer to undergo ethics training and other measures to keep his license. Through it all, Palmer never stopped chasing big game. He went to Zimbabwe, where he bagged a leopard. Another trip, a lion. This picture is from that hunt. That lion, not Cecil, a ghastly sight for animal rights activists, but not necessarily for Zimbabweans.
You guys look, at animals and you think of them as majestic, creatures. We don't.
Zimbabwe native Goodwill Nzo recalls growing up fearful of lions and has a different take than Westerners whose image of the king of beasts comes from the zoo or the movies.
Aslan, we need your help.
We see animals as, threats to us, not as cute Simbas.
Not cute Simbas.
Yeah.
For Dr. Palmer, the lion hunt must have been so intoxicating that he signed up for another trip to Zimbabwe in 2015. What would happen next would turn Palmer's well-heeled life upside down.
Extradite Palmer! Extradite!
But there are at least two versions of that hunt. Which one will you believe?